What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another post game here on Mets Central. And the Mets win 3-1 over the Kansas City Royals in game 96 of the regular season. A beautiful job. Just beautiful job by Carlos Mendoza today. And again, I've been very critical of him. I've been very harsh with the way that I've been talking about his managing abilities. But once again, he goes out there and gives a great managerial performance, and on top of that, this pitching staff absolutely nails today. Frankie Montas going out there and shoving like he has not before in a Mets uniform. I would have really liked for him to get through six, or really like for him to get an out at least in the sixth inning there. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. But thanks to Mendoza managing the game properly, he ends up getting Reed Garrett in there in time, and Reed Garrett gives a good effort, and then the rest goes the way that it needs to. Let's talk about, though, before we jump into everything, I ask that you please leave a like, whether you're watching live or on replay. Subscribe if you guys are new to the channel, especially if you're Met fans, and turn on your notifications so you know when we upload or go live here on Met Central. But yeah, just one of the kind of wins we saw early on in the year for sure, where it was pitching predominant. I would have liked more from the offense today, especially going against a bullpen game for the Royals. But at the same time, your positive is this: you won the game today. Either way, you burnt out a lot of their bullpen because Cruz shouldn't be available from pitching back to back days. Zerpa shouldn't be available from pitching back to back days. Schreiber pitched 2 innings, so you probably knocked him out of commission for tomorrow. Urseg went an inning and a third. You probably knocked him out for tomorrow. So you have a lot of leeway tomorrow against the Royals bullpen. Plus, you have Holmes and Minaya, a duo there going on the mound. So you should be able to eat some good innings there. And I think that was part of the reason why we saw DIAZ go out there for the 6-out save, because Mendoza's thought was, okay, let's win the game today because tomorrow we're going to get some good innings from Holmes. Minaya should be able to give somewhere from 3 to 4 innings. And you might not even need the bullpen. And at worst, you need 1 or 2 arms from the pen. That's best case scenario. Worst case scenario, you probably need 3 arms from the pen. But I don't even think it's going to get to that point. I hope it does not. In terms of today's game, though, love the way that it was managed. Love the way Frankie Montas went out there. He allowed a leadoff double, and it felt like you were going to get the typical Montas start, which is hard contact after hard contact and hit after hit. But he ends up getting through the rest of the order fine in that bottom of the first inning, and he did a really good job throughout the rest of the outing there. And he got some run support in the fourth inning. Francisco Lindor gets a leadoff single, steals a bag, and ends up getting his 200th stolen base, I believe it was, of his career. So big ups to Francisco Lindor on getting that. If I'm not, yeah, that was 200. So big ups to him on that. And it set up an opportunity for Juan Soto to crush one over the fountain out in right field. It ends up falling into the fountain. That made it a 2-0 game. Huge home run there for Juan Soto, 435 feet. Who said he's not clutch? Because that was really the difference in the game right there. And yeah, like I said, I mean, Montas was shoving through 5 innings. And the thing that I'm very happy about is Carlos Mendoza recognizing the mistake he made with Clay Holmes and adapting in this outing. Because the thing that I was very annoyed about with the Clay Holmes thing is Holmes has proved through whatever it is, 10, 11 starts, he can't go past 5 innings. And forget the pitch count, he just couldn't do it. And Montas was cruising through. I had no issue starting with them for the six, but I wanted someone on the ready in case you need to pull him. And Mendoza did that. He had Reed Garrett on the ready, as he ended up allowing back to back doubles. He got a little bit of help there from the India at bat, taking a bit that helped in terms of getting Reed Garrett up and ready to go. And Reed Garrett ends up giving a little bit of a heart attack with that throwing error. And they got some huge outs, though, because you had the pop out to Brett Beatty. So that one's not deep enough for the run to score. The Pasquantino ground out. I thought that I really thought Jonathan India should have been able to score on that one. He wasn't able to, as Pete was falling. So that was a ground out. And with 2 outs, Garcia flies out. to end the inning. So great work there by Reed Garrett in his outing. He has looked a lot more sharp as of lately, but it was 2-1 by the end of the inning because of the doubles back to back. But again, I'm glad to see Mendoza pull the hook quickly on Montas versus with Holmes, what we saw where they left him in way too long and it backfired it. And the Orioles were able to just absolutely destroy them. So good to see Mendoza carrying that through here. Hopefully tomorrow, he has Mania ready to go after by like the fifth or sixth inning for Clay Holmes, since the things that I laid out here. And it sucks because, like I said, Montas was cruising through those first 5 innings, and I really thought you were going to be able to get 6 with the way that he looked. But there's always something to be said about having to face the order the third time, and it ended up catching up to him, unfortunately. But still, overall, a very solid outing. I would say his best one as a Met thus far. And I think it's better than the outing he had versus the Braves, personally, just because I like the way that he mixed his pitches a little bit more. I thought the sequencing was better. He didn't generate too much swing and miss stuff, but I just thought the sequencing was a lot better in this outing. We go to the seventh inning, and it really sucks, though, that Chris Davinsky is so, or not Chris Davinsky, Ryan Stanek, rather, is so bipolar, streaky, whatever word you want to use, that you can't use him in the spot. So they have to go to Chris Davinsky, which he definitely had his worst outing as a Met thus far. He ends up walking Perez. He hit Lofton by with a pitch as well. Gets through the inning, though, thankfully, and keeps him at bay. I had no issue with going to Davinsky there. It's the bottom of the order. You should be able to get 3 outs there from him. I was just worried that you were going to get the order to flip there, and then it's like, okay, what do you do from there if the order flips? And nevertheless, the Royals tie the game. But Davinsky ends up keeping them in the game there. And then in the bottom of the 8th, Mendoza did something that I've been begging for all, not just all season long, his entire tenure as the Mets manager. I've been begging him to put Edwin Diaz in against the best part of the order. I don't care if it's in the 8th inning. You don't need him to get his sexy save stats, and great for him if he gets all these saves racked up, but I want what's going to be best for the team. And what was best for the team was putting him in that 8th inning there. I didn't think he was going to get a 6-out save, to be honest with you, but definitely a little bit of an adventure, sort of, because he walked Bobby Witt Jr., and I cannot believe they overturned that call there when he stole second base. I am still very surprised. I didn't see on the replay where he was out. I didn't see anything definitive, but I guess they have a different angle in the replay room. I won't complain. I will take it, but I understand why Royals fans were very pissed off about that call there, because I would be flipping out if it was the other way around. So I can't blame Royals fans for that one. I didn't see where it was. If his hand came off the bag again, great. I guess it did, but I understand the frustration there from Royals fans. But then he strikes out Pasquantino. And in the 9th inning, I'm glad the Mets were able to get an insurance run. Pete Alonso had a double. McNeil gets a single to make it 3-1. And then Tyrone Taylor in the bottom of the 9th makes a nice grab. And yeah, the Mets end up holding on to win the game by a final score of 3-1. A lot of help there from the pitching, like I said. Montas going out there giving 5 innings, 4 hits, no walks in the outing. Only 2 walks by Mets pitchers today, between Davinsky and Diaz being those 2 walks there. But yeah, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 5 strikeouts. Solid stuff from Montas. I will take getting 5 innings from him time and time again. But the thing is, you're going to need the rest of the rotation to step up. And that's where at the deadline, they have to acquire someone that's going to eat innings, because you can't have everyone just go 5 innings every single outing. But if you could get 5 to 6 from Montas most times, I'll take that, considering how I feel about Frankie Montas and where we're at with him. And then, yeah, the bullpen just nails Reed Garrett, Davinsky, Diaz. Again, even though it was a little shaky from Davinsky, I think you could live with him facing the lower part of the order for a little bit. So overall, just a solid win. You're in prime position to sweep here. And I can tell you right now, a sweep would make up for losing that series to the Orioles because I felt they should have took 2 out of 3 there. I felt they should be taking 2 out of 3 in this series. Go out there and complete the sweep now tomorrow. That's all I ask. But I'm going to wrap things up here. Sorry for keeping it short. I do have to get going. So leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe, turn on your notifications so you know I upload or go live, and I'll see you guys in the next one.